Hi guys, so welcome to the weekly reading vlog. It's Monday and I just packed my bags. I have to return some library books and then this is like my work backpack so that I can go do some work. I already did a little bit this morning and then I just changed out of pajamas to essentially what could be more pajamas, and we're gonna head out. Okay, I just got back from the library. Also, this is not a sunburn, it's just carrying those bags on my shoulders. But I had to pass back by my place in order to go to Starbucks like I thought I was going to. And then I was like, I don't think I want to do that anymore. So I'm actually going to get ready and head into my office, which is a surprise. But I wanted to show you the two books I checked out from the library. If you watched my reading wrap up, then I mentioned these two books on my TBR for the month. But I picked up Legendary, which is the second book in the Caraval trilogy, and then the Atlas Paradox. I have the Atlas 6 in a UK paperback, and so I really want to get the Atlas Paradox in paperback as well, but I'm struggling to find which one I really need. Like, I don't know if I should be ordering from Waterstones or something. I don't know. But I really want to read this book and I'm dying to read it, so I just checked it out from the library and then I will just get a copy of it later. Those are the two books I got. I have more holds that I think maybe I'll be able to get later this week, and then I'll have to return two other books I have checked out right now anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready and head to my office. Okay, hi. You're on this like makeshift tripod thing, but I just got home from work. It's only like 2:30. I still have more work to do. I just came back from the office, but I got two packages. One's book related, one isn't. I just like getting things like in the mail. I don't know about you guys. I got a new thing of makeup remover from Glossier. Love. Like, look at this sticker. Isn't it cute? So cute. But then, this last thing, guys, I think I mentioned it in my reading wrap up, but I have Daisy Hates as the next book in the series I need to read. And I was like, I don't know how I haven't read it yet. This is the last book that I don't have. And while I don't like, wow, this is floppy though. While I don't like that this is definitely bigger than the others, like for what? I have no idea why. I really needed to have this cover. And I ordered this, luckily, at like a normal price before they like announced that the covers were coming back, but they were still sold out everywhere. So I was like, okay, I don't really understand. This is a UK version. So it like has glossy with the soft. I got it as like a secondhand seller on Amazon. I'm so glad to have this though, but like the floppiness, it's a floppy book. I just love these covers so much. So that's my little book haul. Okay, hi, it's much later now. I was just editing the weekly vlog that I filmed last week so it can get exported and stuff, and then editing other things. But I came on here to talk about Princess of Souls because I've referenced this book several times in several videos, and I just did it with a lack of understanding, and now I get it. I've talked about To Kill a Kingdom a couple months ago. I read it, and it's by Alexandra Christo, I believe is how you say her last name, and it's a Little Mermaid retelling. That's exactly what it is. It's not as like dark, twisted as Hooked by Emily McIntyre, I think is her last name, but it is just a fairy tale retelling. That's what this whole thing is. So this one is a Rapunzel retelling. It's the fact that I just never Googled it to figure it out. I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're like connected or something. It's the second book. Idiot. Fairy tale retellings. That's what this is. Okay, get this. It's Tuesday now, and I actually filmed a clip this morning before I headed to my office, and I was looking at the audio, and it's so weird. It's like, I think it's because of the air conditioning, but it's like there's wind in my living room. I'm making some dinner right now, so while water boils, I'm gonna give you my reading update again. I did go ahead and start Princess of Souls last night. Okay, I'm gonna try my best, but honestly, it's kind of a confusing plot to explain quickly. We're gonna try. You're following Celestra, who is a 16-year-old witch, essentially just waiting to take the heir of her mom next to the king, foretelling deaths at the Festival of Prediction. That's like the very simple thing. The little more depth is every year 200 villagers come, maybe it's out of boredom, desperation, or just hope, to partake in this sort of, games in a way. I don't really know, a challenge. Okay, the Festival of Predictions work like this. I'm gonna try my best here. In the first week, they have one death come for them. If they survive that, the second week, they have 2 deaths come for them. If they survive at the end of that 2-week mark, the king grants them a wish. So that's the first part. And in that first week, that death that I'm referencing, they're coming to the palace for the witch to tell them when, where, and how they're gonna die that first time, so that they just kind of have a heads up and they can actually maybe cheat death that way. And so only a handful of people make it to that 2-week period, because the second 2 weeks, 2 deaths are coming for them, and they have no idea when, where, why, how. You know what I mean? So if they make it to the end of that 2 weeks, the king grants them a wish. And at this point, because only a handful have made it, like, they never try to go further. There's like, okay, I'm done. I've cheated death too many times. I'm out. But you have the option to go further and essentially go for the king's immortality. But the king has everything at his disposal, so everyone is like, it's never been done. But here comes our 200th contestant this year, Knox, who is a last army soldier, an amazing one, and very familiar with the king, like just because of how great a soldier he is. So he comes in and he's the last one. And the king is oh so nice and allows Celestra to predict her first death. And so she takes Knox by the hand or whatever, and she sees her own death intertwined with his. Obviously, this is gonna panic her, and so she learns that in whatever way they're fated together, they're intertwined, and his death is her death. So this book is essentially those two having to work together to stay alive. Like, she needs him to be alive in order for her to be alive. And he obviously has these very pre-notioned ideas of how witches are and like her and her mom are. It's a very interesting story so far. I've loved it. I'm on page 120 now, so I read 100 pages yesterday and about 20 or so today. The story's really kicking off now that they are working together. Like, that was the last like 20 pages, is them like realizing they need each other to get what they want. So we're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully I explained that well and enough so that you want to read this, because I think no matter what this book gets as a rating, it will be just like a fun book to read. I'm gonna go eat dinner and I'll update you probably tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. I have a small reading update. So I'm now on page 243, chapter 30. It's so good. I do want to add in that you get dual POV. So you get Knox and Celestra's point of views throughout this story, which is just so perfect. And I feel like the writing, like Alexandra Christo, her writing in this book is better for sure than To Kill a Kingdom. I love the banter and the back and forth between Knox and Celestra. It is just so enjoyable to read, and you just see so much more of Celestra's growth at this point, like just seeing her get out into the world and realize like she can use powers for not just death and taking souls for the king. And yeah, I love seeing Celestra's growth in this story so far. We'll see how it all wraps up. I feel like that will be my next update, but this book is so good. I feel so gross, but I have a TV console that needs to be put together. I had to bring up all the pieces pretty much like individually upstairs because the box itself was so heavy. Like, there was no shot I could do that without damaging something, me or my walls, or I don't know. So I finally got all upstairs. I need to cool off. I say that as I'm drinking a hot coffee, but that's my update because I'm so excited to finally have a like TV console, TV stand thing. I love it. I think it's gonna look so good once they get together. I'll show you whenever I get that done. But oh my god, I'm so gross. I feel gross right now. I built it and I absolutely love it. I have been really wanting a dark wood toned like furniture piece in here. Like, I want ultimately to get the matching coffee table. I love it. I love this. This is what it looks like, and I was kind of nervous because of my like grayish floors, but I feel like it blends in so well. And they have, again, like I said, a matching coffee table, so I want to get that eventually. That's my update. Nothing obviously reading, but just life and me being so happy to have a complete home. I think ultimately I'd like to get 2 thin bookshelves to put on both of those sides. I'm not really sure yet. Oh, but I just love this. I love it so much. And it's pretty bright, but I have like all of these shut, so I don't even have all the light possible coming in here, and I feel pretty good about it. Okay, I need to go tell everyone else that I built this because it's my biggest accomplishment today. Oh my gosh, guys, it's, I don't even know what time, maybe like 7 or so. I've just been sitting here reading. I finished, okay, I'm sorry, all my stuff's closed. We're just gonna have to ignore the appearance, honestly, to get through this because I just finished Princess of Souls. I'm giving this 4.5 stars. When I was thinking about it, I was just like, how do I give this book any lower when I just had such an amazing experience reading this book? I love the writing so much more in this book, and I think I still gave To Kill a Kingdom like 4 stars or something. Like, I remember really enjoying that book, but I just loved the writing in this so much and the story, and I was just like never bored, and I really loved the main characters and the different, like, it's a fantasy romance, I think is how they've categorized it, but it is also the fairy tale retelling. And I loved how the subplot of romance was not just so severe in your face, but also it was definitely present, where I was like excited anytime they were interacting. And I love any conflicts between them. I was like, no, like I get it, and how things are resolved. I'm like, that's good. Like, that's, yes. We love just communicating, you know what I mean? So this was such a fun book to read and so easy. It's a little under 400 pages. I mean, if I had the time, I could just sit here and read it in a day. Like, so good. Please read this book. If you have any interest in it, please read this. It's Thursday morning. I think it's like 7:30 or so. I want to give you a reading update, and then we need to go to Target. I need a couple things. Okay, so first up is the reading update. I started, what is this? City of Bones. It's the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, but also it's like the first book you should be reading for Cassandra Clare, so like in order to immerse yourself into this whole universe. So I'm on the first 80 pages of book 1 of this like 15 book universe. So what I've gathered so far, I didn't read the back before starting this book, but you're following Clare, I think is how you say her name, and she's just like this normal 16, almost 16-year-old teenager in New York City. And one night out with her friend, she believes she's about to witness a murder, and turns out she's the only one that can see this group of people, and they're known as the Shadow Hunters, that are wanting to get rid of all demons on Earth, maybe? I don't really know the world scope of this yet, but the whole thing is that no one else can see them unless like you're one of them. And she's just like, no, but I'm not. So obviously they're confused that she can see them, and they have like these odd markings on them, and she's just like, literally, what is this? She tries to just like escape from it. Obviously that's not gonna work, so now she's in their world. Like, not their, like, I mean, they're still in New York City, I believe. But it's just like, now she's being thrown into whatever the hell is going on. That's kind of what I'm gathering from this, and obviously it's a red flag that she can see them. So I'm sure she is somehow involved in the Shadowhunters world. Like, whether or not it's her mom or her dad, I have no idea. But yeah. So you're just discovering at this point, why, like, can she see them? Like, what is her role in this is what I believe we're going to be really discovering in this book. But I like it so far. I mean, it is enjoyable. It's very easy to read. It is easy to kind of just like jump in. I like that she just jumps in and you're there. That's my reading update. We need to go Target.
Oh, I'm slipping away, so don't let me go, nah, 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 nah. I'm all up in that love haze.
Okay, I'm back, and of course I'm going to give a quick haul. The first thing I got was hot coffee pods, which is so bizarre to me because I essentially only brought back the ones that were in our hotel. I'm not usually a hot coffee person, but I was just loving it in the morning. So I ran out and I actually bought some. Usually I'm an iced coffee person or just iced drink in general. Iced matcha. Of course I got one whenever I was done shopping. And then I got things to make these like barbecue chicken slider deals. I originally tried this from one of Target's like meal kit things that they have. If you haven't seen them, it's like a HelloFresh sort of thing where it's a bag full of the ingredients you need to make something. And so you just get like their shredded chicken, some cheddar cheese, and then these non-pita bread things. I still have the barbecue sauce from that packet kit thing, so I didn't need that. But you just like preheat your oven, make them. Well, I'm sure we'll make them sometime this week. This is what I was really targeting. I need aluminum foil because I don't know if I said it or not yet, but my office tomorrow, wow, tomorrow's already Friday. Okay, anyways, tomorrow they have a chocolate chip cookie contest thing, and so I want to make some, and normally I just make like chocolate chip cookies, like regular, but I found this like pumpkin chocolate chip cookie recipe that I really want to try, so I got stuff for it, and then I ran out of foil literally yesterday. And the last thing I needed was dish pods. that was just my quick small haul. I'm gonna put this stuff away and then probably start on some work things. I can't believe I forgot to show you guys. I also got 3 packs of these candies. I don't know what it is, but they're addictive and they're so good. They were out of these the last couple times I went to Target, and they had like these rainbow multi-flavored ones. They're not good, don't get them. But these watermelon blueberry ones are superior. They're so good. Okay, now I'm gonna put this stuff away and get to work. Okay, I have my meal, my little lunch or something, and I'm definitely starving and ready to eat this, but I figured I'd give you a quick reading update. So I'm now at chapter 11, I think, page 189, yep. And I just wanted to give like, yeah, where I'm at now. So I'm definitely on the right path of understanding what the plot, at least of this book is, and it is following Clare, is that? I think that's still her name. Yep. And I don't know if I'm Clare. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You know, like, well, it's fine. But it is her, like, discovering her truth, her identity. How does she fit into this shadow hunter's world? She has no, like, memories associated with this. She's just clueless as to this world. And her mom never even hinted at magic or demons or anything. So she's like, no, my mom's definitely not involved in this. My parents just, like, they're not a part of this world. I would have known. But then she's like, I feel like maybe my mom totally could have lied. Because now that I think about it, she's never told me anything of her past. So it's definitely an adventure of a story. You really just see her and Jace tackling that world together. We'll see how that continues. But I'm enjoying it so far. I think I'll, obviously get more invested the more that I read this book and the more that I just hopefully continue the series. Like, the plot of it itself is interesting to me. So at this point, I don't see why I wouldn't want to continue it. But we'll see how it all wraps up in book 1.
Hello, Ramona.
Okay, hi, I'm back from the pool. That was so nice to just like lay out and be in the sun for a little. Like, I needed that. I hadn't been by the pool in so long. It felt like just like soaking in the sun. So that felt great. I'm now on page 281, chapter 15. I'm a little over halfway, maybe like 60% or 55. It's continuing to get good. I mean, I am liking how the story is developing. I'm still equally interested in it, so it's not a major update. But right now, I need to chug more water, but also I need to start making cookies. These are what the cookies look like. They look so good. So like I said, they're like these pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. So I'm excited, and we're gonna just see how the heck it goes. Oh my god. I forget, like, this is what happens when you bake. So I'm gonna put all this away. I am chilling the dough right now, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven, and we're gonna see how the first batch turns out. Okay, I just like broke open one to see how it looked inside. Guys, it's so fluffy. I'm obsessed with it. It is so good. I wasn't sure if like it needed to be cooked longer. So that's why I was looking at the first batch to make sure my second batch didn't need to like go in longer. It's so good. Oh my god. Hello, it's now Friday. It's Friday. I love how this picks up on camera. Here's a sneak peek of an upcoming video. Yeah. I just finished filming the rest of that. I filmed the first half last week, and then now I just finished the second half, and it'll be going up. If this is going up Tuesday, then this video I believe is going up Friday. So in a few days after you see this. So stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. Okay, I actually need to get ready and go to work. Well, I'm ready now, but I need to go to work. I gotta take my cookies in today, so I'm excited to actually get into the office. I will update you if I have any reading updates. I didn't end up reading any more last night and I hope to finish the book today. I think the physical book is actually due at the library tomorrow, so don't really have a choice if I want to get that going. So that's my goal for today, but I'll update you later on when I have an update. Okay, I got back from work a couple of hours ago, like literally changed and everything, but same shop. I finished City of Bones. So here's the thing, I gave this book 3.5 stars. I like it. I want to continue the Mortal Instruments series and into this universe, but this is book 1. You're getting kind of thrown into the world. You have to kind of navigate it. You're getting introduced to all the characters. So I wasn't just hooked from the beginning and in this book, but it's still 3.5 stars, and I'm still interested at least to read the next book and see how this progresses. I may honestly have to look up City of Bones, book 1 of the Mortal Instruments for Dummies, to make sure like I grasped everything I needed to move on and to just like be in a better space with it. Yeah, that's where I'm at. The next book I'm going to read, it is Legendary. It's the second book in the Caraval trilogy. I'm definitely interested to just see how this compares to the first book. I think I gave the first book 3.5 stars as well, so we'll see. But I feel like I'll be able to get this done between today / tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and like probably start this. Maybe clean up my apartment a little. Definitely need to do that. I'll update you when I have an update.
This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon and the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock or so. I just wanted to give a quick reading update before I go make some dinner, but I'm on page like 180, I think, of Legendary. I'm loving this second book. It's advised that you read the Caraval trilogy before heading into Once Upon a Broken Heart. I didn't plan to really read the Caraval trilogy, but I read Once Upon a Broken Heart as like one of the last books I read in July. So I was introduced to whatever the main character's name was, main female, and then the Prince of Hearts was in it. And so I don't know how much like the rest of this book and then book 3 involves timeline or characters of Once Upon a Broken Heart, but we see people from that in book 2, and I'm here for it. So I want to make sure like it's not a spoiler, so I need to look that up and like see if that's like too much to talk about. But I'm liking this book so much more. It's just such an interesting story, and Stephanie Garber's writing is just so easy to read. Like, hello, I'm already on page 180. Like, it's great. When I talked about the first book, either in a vlog or just, I think it was in the last weekly vlog maybe. Either way, whenever I talked about it in some video, I remember saying how much I loved like Caraval, like the games of Caraval, and I didn't really care too much about the subplot of romance going on. I would say that I'm definitely intrigued with how the Caraval games are going to happen in book 2, but I'm also very intrigued by the romance going on in book 2. So I'm very happy about that. Like, I'm just enjoying more of this book. That's my little reading update for now. I'm gonna go make dinner because I'm starving. Okay, while my chili cooks, I wanted to show you guys something I'm very excited to try in the morning. I was just going over like the recipe booklet now, but this brand, Javy Coffee, reached out to me and sent this to me for me to try. And I'm just like very excited about it because I've never heard of this concept before. So I don't want a coffee tonight with chili, but I'm definitely interested to try it out in the morning. This is just their original coffee, but it's like a coffee concentrate. So the concept of it is like you just put a tablespoon or 2 into like your water or milk type of thing. It really says 35 servings, if so that's whack. But I kind of like this concept of just like you just have a small thing and it's not taking up a whole bunch of space in your fridge or anything. I'm a nice coffee girly, so I won't be doing the post-work cocktail or the protein one, but it is cool just that they sent also a bunch of these recipes. I just wanted to show you this now because I was looking at it now, but we'll try it together in the morning. Ah, this is so cool. I hope you like it.
There might be a bit of paper left under the pool of coffee. Try to remember what I wrote and you just laugh. We better have a talk, think it might last until it's dark. When the candle lights are out, I really think it's goodbye. I didn't love you anyhow.
Good morning. It's like almost 8 o'clock on a Saturday. I don't even know that focus. I want to do a taste test, obviously. I am needing coffee this morning. I just followed the same recipe I do for hot coffee. Like, I use the almond creamer thing with 2 bumps of vanilla for my hot coffee. So I figured that is the same, like, flavoring method I would use to try out the concentrate. Wait. That's so good. I didn't know what to expect because it's a concentrate, so I didn't know if like I need to be adding more, if adding just the 2 teaspoons would make it taste like coffee. Like it tastes like coffee. What the heck? Okay, and I also need to try this foam because I love that. That's my favorite part of the hot coffee is like the foam on top. I'm gonna drink all of that. That's so good. Now that we know I like it, I'm gonna give you guys the discount code. I'll also have it below, but I think it's like 20% off or something. But that's so bizarre. I saw on their site that they have like multiple flavors and stuff, so this is so good. I just want to say that they only sent me this to try out, and so if I liked it, they wanted me to share it with you guys, but it's not like I'm paid to say anything. Does that make sense? I struggle to make iced coffee that like has a strong coffee flavor, I feel like, without having to make it hot first and then wait for it to cool. Sometimes you just want iced coffee. So like this product works. And it says that it has 35 servings. I'm sorry, but this is just so bizarre to me. Like quite literally a first impression because I'm like losing my mind over here. I'm gonna go ahead and like kind of pick up a little bit. So like I mentioned, it's almost 8 and at 10 my library is having okay, it's a book sale, but it's not like this big book sale. But I need to go to the library anyways to return 3 books and also pick up one being held. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh! Actually, right now, let's talk about the books that I read. I feel like this is something I didn't do in my last week's one, but I think it's nice before I return these to talk about the books that I read this week. So, in order, the first one I read was Princess of Souls. This book was so good. It was better than To Kill a Kingdom. I love the writing in this more. I loved the characters more. It didn't feel just so surface level. I feel like I just got more of them, and I loved Alexandra Christo's writing of like dialogue writing, and the back and forth between all characters involved. I definitely recommend this if you were interested in To Kill a Kingdom or you did read To Kill a Kingdom and you like that book. I guess I also recommend it if you read To Kill a Kingdom and you're like, okay, like this was okay, but it wasn't like the best. Like, I think it's worth giving this a shot because it's such a quick, easy read, and I found it to be better than To Kill a Kingdom. The next book I read was the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, and it's City of Bones. I gave this, I think I said 3.5 stars maybe in this vlog earlier, but it's like 3 stars. I don't know how to describe this. So nothing to do with the plot. It's more like my emotions for this book because the concept of it and the world of it was pretty interesting, but it was the obvious like romance thing. If you've read the book, you know that I was just like, I'm sorry, why? You know what I mean? Like, why? It's just weird, and I didn't like that part of it. It really kind of like turned me off of it, just like the book, I felt like. But it felt like a pilot to a TV show where you should definitely probably read the second book as well to see like how is this gonna progress and really get a taste of what this entire universe could be like. Because yeah, the world of Shadowhunters, I'm telling you, just this series alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is this all? So I think there's 7 books in the Shadowhunts side of things, Mortal Instruments. I have frankly no idea. I want to give the second book a shot. I just didn't absolutely love this book, but I could see where it could get good if it's done right. I think another issue I had was the YA element of this. Like, she's 15, and it's as if they should be older, but then the writing was like younger. It was just, yeah. And then the last book I read is Legendary, and this is the second book in the Caraval trilogy. I loved this book. I was really nervous about it because of how Caraval went. I was like, well, I may just really like the main plot of just Caraval, but not really care too much about the characters and like what they're doing and how that's going to progress. False. Caraval is really following Scarlet and Scarlet's journey into the Caraval games, and then Legendary is really following Tella's play into the games. And I love Tella. I loved the subplot of romance in this. I feel like this would be such a good like movie, like this one and the first one, just because of the way the Caraval games are. I feel like it would just be so cool. These were the 3 books that I read so far this week. I do hope to read more. I don't know if I want to start the Atlas Paradox next or something else. The Atlas Paradox is the other library book that I have out right now, and then I'm going to pick up The Naturals. Very excited to start that series, so I may want to start that as well. But then I do have a list of like physical books that are on my TBR for this month, so I don't know what I want to do yet, but these are the 3 books that I read, and I'll be returning today. Oh my god, I like can't stop thinking about this coffee. And just, it's instant cold coffee. That's the thing. And you can put it in hot coffee. Like, you can put it in hot water to make hot coffee. I just can't get over it. Like, yes, now I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. Yeah. Okay, I just changed and we're ready to go. I just packed my bag with all my, like, library stuff. There we go. I think we're gonna head over. It's like 9:30 or so, and the book sale part of it, did I mention this? I feel like I had to. I'm like totally blanking. But the book sale part of it starts at 10. I want to take these back, pick up my hold, browse a little, and then that way, when it's time to look through books for sale, I'll be ready.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
Okay, I just got back from the library and I want to show you the book that I checked out and then the books that I got at the book sale. The book that I checked out was The Naturals. I think I told you guys this before I even went. I have a bunch of holds, honestly, but this was the only one available to pick up today, so I'm excited to start this series. I haven't read any of the Inheritance games, but I want to, but I've just heard so many people talking about this book, so I'm dying to start this series. And for the book sale, the way it worked was you had a bag and you paid $5 to put as many books you fit into that bag. So quite the deal, and I got quite a few books. So I'm excited to show you guys. The first 2 I got was The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and Frankenstein. I have other classic books that I want to read and can maybe do it for video. So I'm adding these to the collection. Obviously Frankenstein would be great to read in October, but nonetheless, I'm glad to find these there. Am I the only one that didn't realize this was that thick? Like, what the heck? The next 2 I got was The Book Thief. There's a movie on this, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I want to say I watched the movie of this, but I've read that anyone that reads should read this book in their lifetime, so I'm glad to pick it up. And then I got The Hunger Games. I kind of want to do a series on my channel where I read the books and then watch the movies, so figured this will be good for that. The next book I saw, look how great condition this is. Like, can we just talk about that? But it's In 5 Years. I've seen this book quite a bit around social media, but I haven't really felt super inclined to pick it up on my own. But I figured at the book sale, just throw it in the back, you know? I do want to read this eventually. Then I got Life of Pi. I'm obsessed with this cover. I've never watched the movie, I don't think. If I did, I don't remember it. So this could be another one to add to the series I want to do. Though I was thinking of really doing that for like actual series, not just like standalone books. I don't know, but this would be good to read and then watch the movie. And then the last 2 I got, I haven't heard of this, but it was so gorgeous. It says Summer at Tiffany, and it's a memoir Marjorie Hart. This is stunning. I'm excited to read this. I don't know when I'll get to it, but it just looks so gorgeous that I had to pick it up. And the last one is the Paris Library. I had to take off like stickers because it used to be a library book, I guess. But we'll work on that part. But this is actually a really, really gorgeous book. In the inside, like, I'm sorry. What? This has been on my list to eventually buy and read. So when I saw this there, I was like, sign me up. Those are the books that I got. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books for $5. Are you joking? That's insane. I'm gonna figure out what to do with these books, but I really need to edit today. Like, I did 0 editing this week. I think I did upload all the footage up until today, last night. So I need to really work on this weekly vlog, and then that's my priority. I'm gonna say that. Like, I really just need to work on that. Then I have another video that's like I need to finish, but that's going up after the weekly vlog. So it's a later problem. First up, editing the weekly vlog. Good morning, happy Sunday. I'm feeling tired, but I want to try to make the matcha drink that I always get at Starbucks. I've tried in the past. I just can't seem to nail it, but I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna probably regret it, but I'm gonna try again. And if that doesn't work, we're going to get one because I want to. It's like not even green. Like, what? I tried something different. Like, method of making. No. It's like not terrible, but it's not my drink. So I'm gonna just like wake up for a few minutes and then we'll probably go to Target because Target has it. Oh my god. Because Target has it in the store and that's closer than the Starbucks. It just had straight up matcha powder. I don't like this game. Okay, I just put on like sweats and a hoodie and we're gonna go to Target. I wanna see what fall stuff they have out. Sorry. And then I also wanna eat my drink. And because we're there, we'll also look at books, of course. They are out of matcha. But the chai scoops fall on the way. Okay, I just got back. I got these like PJ shorts. I think they're so cute. But the other stuff I got was fall related. I showed you, I think, a sneak peek. And then I got a couple other things. But I'm doing like a fall video later on. So I'm going to save it for that. It's now 10:15 and I'm tired. Also, they didn't have, I told you guys this, but they didn't have matcha. I got a regular chai and it screams fall, so I'm okay. That's my update for now. That's my update for now, and I'll just touch base with you later. Okay, it's like 2 or 3 p.m. I've just been on the couch all day doing computer stuff, watching some YouTube, but in the last hour, I went ahead and started my next read. I'm starting the Natural series. I've been very excited to start this series, and this book was just sitting there staring at me, waiting for me to pick it up. I think so many people have heard people talk about this book, so I'm sorry if this is repetitive, but by the off chance you haven't heard about this series, I do want to give like a quick little blurb about it. I'm only 50 pages in, so I figured now would be a good time to kind of give those initial impressions, talk about it. I don't know if the POVs will change with future books or just even throughout this first book. So far, I'm only getting Cassie's point of view. She is a 17-year-old that was recruited by an FBI agent for this classified program targeting teenagers with just these gifts, I guess. Nothing supernatural, but Cassie has an amazing gift of reading people and in a way that analyzes them to help her predict maybe what they'll do next. And then another person from this program that we've been introduced to so far is Michael, who is really good at reading people's emotions. So like body language, facial expressions, things like that. And then at least one other person in this program that we haven't been directly introduced to yet, but she's been brought up. She's pretty much described as a walking encyclopedia, so she's really good at just finding patterns in things. A program called The Naturals is essentially putting these group of teens together, helping them kind of enhance those gifts that they already possess, and then they will help the FBI solve cold cases. So Criminal Minds has been thrown around a lot associated with this book, but I think that's just because it's a very popular show involving profilers and such. I mean, any show involving things like that with the FBI or just detective shows with those special set of gifts from people. Yes, it's a YA fill-in TV show name here. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying it so far. This first 50 pages is just Cassie getting introduced to that program, and now she's on her way to doing that. So this book is told in parts. So I just finished part 1, and then part 2 is called Learning. One other part about this book, I don't know if they'll be like this in the future, but you start off with the first page is literally in the mind of a killer, and you're kind of just seeing their thoughts for just a single page, and then you jump into like a chapter from Cassie's POV. That's been pretty cool, just having those random pages thrown in there. I'm sure it's related to whatever crime that they're gonna solve. But I also think it could be related to Cassie's mom, because I believe an overarching plot will probably be around Cassie's mother's case. Cassie's mother was presumed to be murdered 5 years ago, but there was like blood everywhere, but her body wasn't found. So it's been 5 years, her body's still not found, and obviously that is heavy on Cassie. So I'm sure that's kind of why she even initially decided to talk to the FBI agent when he approached her. So I could see that being the overarching plot across the series of just Cassie now using these developed skills to pursue her mother's old case. That's where I'm at now. I am liking this. This is my first, okay, what is her name? Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Yeah, this is my first Jennifer Lynn Barnes book. I did not read the Inheritance Game series yet, but I definitely want to, and maybe I will after finishing this series, because the Inheritance Games is a part of my fall TBR, which I'll have like a video and stuff on that later when the time's, you know, right, like in a few weeks. But I think that could be a good transition, like this kind of YA thing, and then I know the Inheritance Games is also kind of this YA series. That's my reading update, and I'll probably talk with you once more before we close out this vlog. Okay, we're just gonna have to work with the lighting. I'm not getting up to mess with the shutter things. So obviously I just took a shower. I've only read about 30 or so more pages in the book. I've been watching more YouTube videos. We're just now kind of getting introduced to more of the naturals and actually directly meeting people. So we met Leah, which is, she's supposed to be very deceptive, I believe. Like, she's an amazing liar herself, and she can tell when others are lying. That's great. And then we met Dean, who is also a profiler. And then we met her roommate, Cassie's roommate, that is the encyclopedia. She's Sloane, I believe is her name. And I've heard a lot of people talk about her as their favorite character, and like, I could totally see that. I envy her brain. So yeah, we've just been introduced to more people at this point, and I believe that's all of the naturals. Dean, Leah, Cassie, Michael, and Sloane. 5 amigos. So I'm just gonna close out the video here. I don't know if I'll do more reading today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.